Nowadays, almost everyone seems to be vegan. At least almost every influencer, so it seems. If you live healthy and sustainable, you kind of have to be vegan. In those circles, it's almost a mockery to eat meat or drink milk. Something that, in its pure state, has such a beautiful message, has been turned into a sheer trend and obsession, and with some people, fanatism. So welcome, beautiful people, to another episode of Dance with the Universe, a very special episode because today I have a guest from far away, actually from the other side of the world, from Australia. It's Alex. I've actually never met her in person, but we got in touch on Instagram, and she's a really beautiful girl with a lot of amazing experiences in the Outback. And also with healthy eating and veganism, which I think is a very up-to-date topic that right now has been discussed a lot, and carries a lot of judgment with it. So I hope you enjoy this really nice talk and get some inspiration out of it. Let's dance! Today we have a very special guest with who we will talk a little bit about this really well discussed topic of nutrition and veganism. And it's Alexandra. Hello, Alexandra.
Hello.
I say your name a little bit Spanish, Alexandra. Yeah, maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit. So where are you right now? What are you doing? Who are you?
So I'm Alex. I'm 31 years old. I'm from Germany, and at the moment I'm in Australia, in Outback, Australia. And I've been here for almost 2 years now. I'm flying back to Germany this month, actually. And yeah, I'm interested in a lot of things, I would say. Like, I'm interested in health, sustainability, self-development, spirituality, business, and yeah, right now I mainly work online, and I also have a podcast and Instagram and all of these kind of things. And yeah, and because we're talking about like nutrition and veganism, like I have been a vegan for almost 4 years, but I'm not anymore. And yeah, I guess we'll talk about like why and everything. So yeah, I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, nice. Exactly. That's why we chose to record this podcast, because we both have a little bit of a different view on this topic, I guess, of nutrition, because we've both been vegan, and we changed a little bit our opinions, and our viewpoints on this whole topic. And yeah, we all have our personal story. I guess it's not to judge anyone or to say how you should eat or not. It's just really speaking from our experience, I guess. Because in my story, in my life, also food always played a really big role, and actually also connected to my personal development and all of that. So maybe let's start with right now. How do you eat? What do you eat? What do you eat every day?
Oh, that's a bit of a difficult question because every day looks different. I would say, I don't know for you. I mean, some people just eat the same every single day. My parents, for example, they like have the same breakfast every day. Crazy. But yeah, I would say I still eat like, I don't know, like 80%. So breakfast, I often have like either a smoothie bowl or snack. And how many meals I have, I don't really believe in the typical breakfast dinner anymore. Like sometimes I have an earlier breakfast because I'm hungry at like 7. Sometimes I eat at 10 or 11, also depending on when I get up. But yeah, for my like savory meals, oh, it's so difficult. Because I don't really do recipes, I would say I just throw stuff together. So I have a lot of like rice or pasta, potatoes mixed with like veggies or make a curry. And sometimes I have some egg or fish and meat. I don't really consume dairy at all. Like I don't eat dairy except for a bit of butter, like organic grass-fed butter. But yeah, I stay away from dairy. And
Nice.
yeah, that's basically how I eat. I would say I eat very simple and I try to, I mean, right now it's a bit hard, I have to say, to get like organic fruits and veggies here where I live. It's really annoying and it's one thing I'm looking forward to in Germany.
Mm.
But you can get really good, like high quality meat and eggs. Like I mainly get my eggs from my ex-partner's dad because he has chickens and roosters in the garden. And yeah, so that's great. And yeah, I just eat very simple, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
How does your day of eating look like?
yeah, that's really good. Simple eating is really nice. Yeah, I eat vegetarian right now, and I almost don't eat dairy products. Sometimes I eat cheese because I really like cheese. But other than that, I don't, yeah, eat any dairy products or meat or fish anymore. So I've been vegetarian actually for 3 years now, I guess, and in between also vegan because I mean here in Colombia we have a vegan restaurant, so it's really easy to just eat vegan and to really see, okay, how can I um, make cheese vegan, how I can make vegan meat and all of that. It's pretty easy. But yeah, other than that, I also try to eat listening to my body, kind of. That's it has been a big journey also connecting spirituality with my eating habits because I think it's very much connected. And yeah, I don't know how about you, but before I ate meat normally, and I watched one of these documentaries where you just get really freaked out. And then I didn't eat meat for a while and I kind of started to investigate a little bit. And yeah, right now I don't feel like I have the necessity to eat meat, actually. I just don't feel good. And when I consume eggs or milk, I don't feel so well after. So I just actually listen to what my body wants or needs. It's not so much just ethical reason, for sure, also, but it's also just really listening to what's good for my body because I think it's different also with each one of us. I don't know how you became, because you said you were vegan, no, for a long time. Why did you
Yeah.
become vegan before, and why are you not vegan now?
So I think I became a vegan in 2015 overnight. I never was vegetarian.
Wow.
And yeah, for, sorry?
No, wow. Overnight, that's pretty.
Ah, so yeah, I have to say I watched a lot of like YouTube videos, mainly from Freely the Banana Girl. I think a lot of people know her.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just watched like the worst stuff and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. And then I became vegan overnight, for ethical reasons. Like I didn't care about like the health aspects or like the environment and stuff like that. I was just like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And then I was just a strict vegan like for about 4 years. And in the beginning, I was really one of these vegans trying to like educate everyone and being like, telling them what to do and why this is wrong and why they have to become vegan and this is the only right way to live. Like, yeah, that is what I was like in the beginning. I started to be more relaxed later on, but you know, when you discover something new, you're convinced that you found the truth, and everyone has to live like that. And then when I came to Australia, I actually first went to the Outback. It was the first time of my life that I actually got in contact with like farming, not just like animal farming, also like
Mm.
plant farming. Like I've been driving a tractor and I think the kind of farming that I did is not what I would support. Like it was just like mainly like monocrops sprayed with like chemicals and yeah, it just didn't feel right to me. And that's also when I started to question the way that we like farm and just live. And I also got more into like regenerative agriculture and yeah, learned about that through like podcasts and videos. And I realized that there is more to like to the world than just being vegan or not being vegan. That I found out that for me, veganism is not the solution to our environmental problems anymore. That there is something else than just living like a normal non-vegan and a vegan. And yeah, then I also work closer together with animals. Like I've also seen animals getting killed, and I don't know, to me, killing an animal for food, for example, has never been wrong. It's just more the way that, yeah, that animals are farmed nowadays and all of that, because people are so greedy and they want meat every day and they want it cheap. And that, so I thought that all these horrible videos that I saw, that this is everywhere, that there is no other way, like that this is just what happens to the animals. But I learned that it's not true, that there are other ways to do farming, and that there are actually people who care. And yeah, just that it's not all black and white, I found out. And yeah, it's really sad that people think that when you say you're not a vegan anymore, they assume that you go back to the way you were before, like just going to supermarket, buying whatever cheap meat, milk, I don't know. And like that, I think almost everyone has been back to consuming some animal products, has like completely changed their way of thinking. Like I'm so mindful and where I buy it from, and it's important now where food comes from, how it was produced, and I'm not like, oh, is it plant on animal food, but I'm like, where does this come from? How, like, what effect does it have on the environment, on my health, and so on. And yeah, and also when so I actually quit veganism for these reasons, just for like the bigger picture, because it just didn't align with me anymore. Like I did stay vegan for a while, but I was like, this just does not feel right to me anymore. So I just can't live by something that is not my truth. And I think it can always change. Maybe in a year I'm back to veganism. Who knows? I don't think so. But I also said first I said I would never become a vegan. Then I was like, I would never not be vegan anymore. And yeah, so I think that through life we change, we learn, we grow, and things can always change. But for me right now, this is like the truth I live by. And yeah, then also when I quit veganism, all my health issues that I had, like I had a lot of pain. Every morning I got up with like feet, like they hurt so much I almost couldn't stand up. And I just thought I had like arthritis or rheuma, whatever. And yeah, then 2 days after eating eggs and some fish, it was just completely gone. And all these, there are so many like ex-vegans talking about this on YouTube, and I always thought they are lying. I was like, no, that's not possible. Your health can't change from one day to the other. But it did. And I did not eat like a raw vegan diet or super restricted. Like I felt I did like everything the right way. I took supplements for omega-3s and stuff like that. But it seems it just didn't work for me, and I didn't even connect it to my diet, because I always thought veganism is the best for health, but apparently it wasn't for me. And I see that in a lot of people. And yeah, I feel I'm talking too
No,
much, but
so
there's
interesting.
just so much to
I
say.
like that you say you started to go into this trend, no, because it's like a trend. It's like a strict religion almost. Sometimes I feel like if you're vegan, you feel part of something, and you put yourself in this label, and you're part of all the other vegans, and you feel connected to something. I guess that's why many people also choose this, and because they think they do something good, no, which is can be true. Obviously, they do something good, but they forget.
Yeah, I believe like that. I believe that all vegans have the right intentions, like absolutely, and I still have, I would say, the same values as vegans. I don't want animals like to suffer. I don't want the environment to suffer. I want to be healthy, but I just found another way for me. Like for me, veganism is not the way for me anymore. But I still believe in all the things
It's nice
basically
because,
that
but
vegans
I also
believe
like that
in.
you start to listen to your own body, because that's, I feel what's missing sometimes. You just choose to do that because, yeah, for whatever reasons, but you don't really question if it's really good for you, because it's true that some people may need some kind of different protein, no? Because I also have friends that tried to be vegan and it was just not really good for them. They felt really weak, and like you said, and then they started a little bit of meat again. No, it's
Yeah,
also, it's just about being conscious, I guess what you eat and how you eat. When you do that and listen to your body, it's not
yeah,
wrong, no, to eat meat or to not eat meat. But I guess if vegans, like strong vegans here, what you say, that killing an animal to eat is not wrong, they would probably freak out. But I really like that you experience, you have like the direct
yeah.
experience of that. It's not always like that, like all the videos and documentaries. There's a different way. That's, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, also with about the health, like when I was a vegan, like when I was this like very strong opinioned vegan, I also said that, oh, even if my health would start to suffer, I would still be a vegan because I put everything else over my health, like the animals, I put them over my health. But now I think that is so wrong, because if you as a person are not healthy and are not your best, how can you like be of service for the world? How can you do good in the world if you yourself don't feel good? Like to me, it
That's really
doesn't
true.
make any sense
Something also that
anymore,
I learned here
really.
in Colombia, um, regarding killing animals, that here there are a lot of tribes, no, really traditional tribes, that for them it's really normal to hunt animals. It's part of their tradition also. But they kill in a very different way. So they, before they kill, they ask permission, to the earth, to the animal, and it's a necessity they have in the moment. So they connect also with that animal, because the act of killing, no, I mean, no person that eats meat normally in this world really kills the animal they're eating, and that is how it was before. And that is where you also have a different consciousness about what you're eating, for what. And also it's very different that we are just really disconnected, I
Yeah,
feel, from our food in general.
yeah, yeah, that is so true. I feel a lot of people are very disconnected, vegans, non-vegans, like everyone basically, especially if you live like in the city or grew up there and have never really been in touch with the whole farming and everything. I mean, I grew up in the countryside in Germany and still I was quite disconnected. Like I don't know why, but I never went to my neighbor farm asking, so what are you doing? How does
Mm.
this work? Like I never asked questions. I just found veganism was like, yep, that's the truth. And I just followed this. And also what you say about the hunting, I think actually that is the best way. Like I would one day like to have like my own garden with my own veggies, hunt and fish my own animals, have my own chickens, so that I don't like rely so much on buying these things and know exactly where it comes from. And I mean, I live together with I mean, I'm in Australia, and they are there is kangaroo meat, like you can buy it in the supermarkets, and I didn't even know that before coming here. But my partner or my ex-partner, he is actually a
Mm.
professional shooter, and that also goes by like ethical standards. He can't just go out and be like, okay, I just shoot kangaroos the way I want. Like he needs a license, and it's all checked. And he also loves
Mm.
kangaroos, but he still has his job. And some people might be like, oh, but that. How does that work? How can you love kangaroos
Mm.
but like shoot them for meat? But I think I know, to me, it's not a contradiction anymore if you say you love animals, but then you also decide to like eat meat. Like I don't know. To me, it's just so different now. I just feel more like connected to everything. And yeah, I don't really know how to explain it, but for me, it's also, I mean, animals kill animals as well. And I know, like, this is such a cliche thing to say, but what I mean is that it's not unnatural to me, it's not unnatural to kill another animal as food. I mean, we are pretty much animals as well, just like
Just
different.
different.
And yeah. Yeah, just
Totally,
human
totally. We're part of
animals.
the whole nature, no? I mean, we connect ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I don't really understand why a dingo killing a kangaroo is okay, but a human killing another
Yeah,
animal is wrong. Like, to me, it doesn't make
I
any
get what
sense
you mean because I
anymore
think lots
today.
of people judge that because actually they don't have the direct experience like you have, because I think that's really like everyone should make their own opinions, create their opinions out of their own experience. So it's not right to say this is wrong, this is right if I don't know.
Yeah,
And of course I get also this then that how they produce mass meat right now is obviously not good. It's obviously not healthy, obviously wrong with the animals.
no. And I don't think anyone thinks that's good, but what I also don't understand is that if you were a vegan and you now consume some animal products, but you do it in a really conscious way and you really look what you buy and everything, or even go to like your local hunter and get the meat from them and stuff like that. That is like being criticized so much, but then people who have never been vegan who just go to the supermarket and buy anything, like, that is like normal.
I think
And
it's also just really
yeah,
the
because
conscious consuming of whatever you consume, because like the problem with the veganism, and I see that a lot here, because here come a lot of strict vegans, no, because we have a vegan restaurant, and sometimes I see that they eat really bad stuff, like they buy, it doesn't matter what they eat, it's vegan, and it doesn't matter if it's healthy, it doesn't matter if it's produced by Nestle or some other shit company, but that's like also the big consciousness that's
yeah, I actually did that too, and I thought as long as it's vegan, it's good. Like, I just went to Aldi and bought all the cheap vegan stuff, no matter what. It was just important to me that it was cheap because I was trying to save money, and that it was vegan. So I didn't really care if I bought the cheapest pasta because I thought, oh, it's vegan, so it's automatically good anyway. But now I don't agree anymore because, like, that cheap pasta, where does it come from? It's like, yeah, monocrop farming, like, it's destroying the earth, it's hurting the animals. I mean, I've been driving a tractor, you run over small animals and you spray pesticides, which kills everything.
I totally agree with what you're saying, that you have to see the broader picture in order to really make a conscious choice. And I guess it doesn't matter if you're vegan, vegetarian, or whatever. We all kind of need to.
Yeah,
And I don't know how is your experience with the label of vegan, because I feel that's also a little bit the problem, that if you put into a box, or if you judge by other vegans, if you eat meat or if you drink milk, and social media, actually I see that a lot, you almost feel guilty posting something that's not vegan, because you think, "Ooh, some people gonna come and really, be angry at me." I don't know
yeah,
your experience with that.
yeah. I, I think the problem is that, let's say you post something on Instagram that's not vegan, like, the vegans don't, like, you can't put your whole explanation, like, why this is actually not bad, or you don't think this is bad and everything. You can't, like, explain it every time and put like a whole paragraph under there so people understand you. Because most people think it's not vegan, it's bad. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. And actually, yeah, because I put myself into that vegan box, like, I would not label myself anything anymore nowadays, even if I would decide to I don't know, go back to a fully vegan diet. I would not call myself vegan anymore because I just think I'm a human and I eat things and I don't have to label that. I just listen to what I believe in and what my body tells me.
Mm.
So yeah, like when I stopped being vegan, for me that was a big step because I have a lot of friends who are like vegan, and I was actually shocked by, I mean, most people are really, really good. Like they were like, yeah, you do you, if that feels right for you, who am I to judge? And yeah, I think that's the way it should be with anyone, really. Whatever you decide, if it feels like that's the right way for you, go for it. Like no matter if that's whatever it is. But
Nice. I love that.
yeah, for example,
That's really,
yeah,
that's really nice because yeah, you have we have to get away, become like more open-minded and don't judge anymore, no matter what the choices of other people. We cannot also just convince others that this is the one truth, because there's no one truth. Like there's always a lot of sides to all the truth, and it's nice
yeah,
what you believe in and what you find ethical, and what you is what's good for your body, what's good for your consciousness. And no, other people do themselves. You do you. I really like that. You do you.
yeah. And I mean, for me, for example, even though I don't eat fully vegan anymore, I think that, like, I still think it's great that most people are vegan, are very conscious about what they buy. And most people look at, like, where, like, what company they buy from, for example. So I think that's actually a really good thing still. And even if someone is like raw vegan, where I'm like, I would never ever do that. If
Mm,
it feels good for you, go for it. Like
that's
we all, yeah, should feel our best and do what feels the best for us. And maybe that's just a phase. Like maybe it's just 2 years of raw veganism, and then you decide, oh, it doesn't feel good to me anymore. So I change. I just think it becomes a problem that if you feel bad and you feel it's not right, but you still keep on doing it because you think that's what you should do,
mm,
but maybe it's not the path for you. And yeah, I just had some people who gave me like really negative feedback because they just, I don't know, I feel they're very close-minded. Like
that.
they are like, veganism is the only right way and that's it. Like no discussions here, no, yeah. And even like people who, I had one person I knew in real life and I thought we are like friends, and but apparently we were only friends when I was a full-blown vegan. So
Uish.
yeah, that was a bit disappointing
But
because I would
that,
never do that.
then you see how the friendship really was, no? Why she was your friend was
Yeah.
the believings that you have, and the like. That's not right. We should accept
Yeah,
each other.
I
Are.
find that very strange because in that case you can only have friends or workmates or family who is vegan, and if they're not vegan, then you don't like them anymore. Or I find that very strange.
I totally agree, because my partner actually is not vegan. My family is not vegan. Like, and I don't judge them. I don't say, oh, I don't know, want to have to do with you anymore. I like go out of my life. It's like they just accept, and they help me with making some other food for me sometimes, or making without meat, and that's nice. So I don't judge them. Also, if they eat meat in front of me, I'm not like, ugh, and oh God, why are you doing this? It's like super. It's just accepting. Everyone is on their own path, in their own way.
I think we can And I think we can also all learn from each other. Like I on Instagram, because I started as a vegan, like I still have so many vegan people I follow, and there are a lot of things I can learn from them as well. A lot of health conscious vegans who talk about things I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing. Like it's great. And yeah, so I think we can all really learn from each other, and we're all on a different journey.
Mm.
And some people might think that because I'm not vegan anymore, I was actually like going back, but I feel like I've just outgrown that phase of my life.
Nice. You have your experience and you kind of developed yourself. And that's actually also something that I don't want to speak so much anymore about veganism right now. I want to talk a little bit about what you feel means to eat well, you know, apart from all this vegan, vegetarian, whatever. What does it mean for you actually to eat well?
Well, first of all, I think eating intuitively is a big thing. I mean, I had eating disorders when I was younger, and it took me years to finally just listen to my body, because I always put like rules on myself, like you can't eat after this time of the day, and yeah, you can't eat carbs in the evening, or you can't eat fats, and you can't eat this, can't eat that.
Mm,
And I'm just so free of these like rules. And I just try to listen to my body. And I'm not saying I eat like perfectly, but that's also like, yeah, also not like beating yourself up. So if you eat something that's not so healthy, that you're not blaming yourself for it and you feel guilty, because that just causes stress within yourself, and stress is so for your health. So
mm,
whenever I have a day where where I feel okay, I ate a lot of crap that wasn't good, I'm like, okay, that's just how it is, and I'm just so relaxed. And I feel, first of all, just being relaxed and intuitive about food, that's like a great start.
mm.
And then for me to eat well is just to, yeah, try to get like the best food quality that you can get and that you can afford, obviously, because I mean, not everyone can just buy from organic shops. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be the best, I think. Just buy organic, buy local.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the best thing would be to find your local farm and to get foods from there. And
I guess
yeah, that
all, like both,
um,
you know, sorry, both of us, I guess, really want to in the future have our own land and grow our own food. I guess that's just the best way.
yeah,
That's just
yeah, I agree. And I also think that when you do that, when you have your own foods, you also appreciate it a lot more. I mean, because you know what work went into that, and it's just a great feeling to like eat your own food.
That's totally, I totally agree. And you know what? Something that I realized here also, because I was really strict also with myself. I had a lot of rules about eating healthy because you listen to a lot of things and then you believe it's true, you know, but actually you don't, it doesn't come from within yourself. It just comes from outside and you adapt to it. But what I really found here is that it's not also not so important sometimes what you eat, but how you eat it actually, how you cook it, and that's
Definitely.
like with what consciousness, with what feeling. Are you happy cooking? Are you angry cooking that food? Because that's what my partner always said. That's this sentence I will never forget. He always said that I rather eat like a plate of really crappy, shitty, fatty, non-organic, non-vegan food that's prepared by my mother with love than eating like a plate of organic, vegan, perfectly healthy food that's been prepared by someone that's angry at you and that, you know, because all of that you also eat. You eat all that energy that goes into the food. And that's why it's also important, like where it comes from, because if it comes from like a suffering animal, obviously you eat that information, or a vegetable that's been, you know, grown trans organically, whatever. You eat all that information, you eat the energy also. It's not just always the ingredients, and that's really important, I think, that your body is really, really, really powerful and can transform a lot of shit that you eat also. But it really depends on how you put it also, no? If you're thankful for your food, if you know, prepare it with love, then you can transform a lot of things. And that was something that really changed my my consciousness about food a lot. Because before I was only seeing, you know, the surface. But that's something, I don't know if you have any experience with that, but it's super interesting.
Yes, I really love that. And I also agree with that. And think some people, for example, they eat super healthy, like just really, really healthy and don't eat anything bad, but they have a lot of rules. They're very strict and it's almost obsessive, and they might not even enjoy it, but I think that's what they have to do to be healthy. And I think that's just not healthy.
No.
And then I see people also around here who don't care about what they eat at all. And like I'm like, how can you eat that? Why do you buy that? It's not good. But then some people here, because I also work in our little like country cafe, and I see like some very old people who obviously don't buy or eat good food,
Yeah.
but they're still like super fit and happy and healthy. And I think it's because health is not only food, but I mean, they live out here, they have a very relaxed life, they work outside, they get a lot of nature, there is no traffic, no noise. Like it's very, very natural, and they just live a very good and happy life. And I think that just balances it out, because I feel food is not the most important thing for health. I mean, so a lot of people might disagree with that, but I feel food and exercise is like not the most important thing, but I feel it's more like sleep and how much stress you have, if you are like happy by people you love, and just this overall feeling good.
That's totally it. That's actually the secret. Yeah, the
So
secret.
for
If
me,
you're unhappy
the
and you
food,
eat well, but you're still gonna be sick because all is created in your psyche first. I
yeah,
mean, and then it's kind of manifested in your body.
yeah,
So for me, I also agree that's the most important thing to stay healthy. It's like have a healthy mind and a healthy thinking, positive thinking, good people around you. And then obviously it's a balance. And if you can combine all of these things, that's obviously the best. But it's not the only thing, the food. That's totally, totally right. Because, food is not only like food itself, that we also feed ourselves from the air, the water, the sun. Like I said, other people, their energies, that's all something that is like, that gives us nutrients or not. So it's like a bit the bigger picture, not only what you put inside
yes,
your mouth is food, you know. That's I think a very good part.
yeah. And for example, I always say that when I'm back in Germany, I'm happy that I have all these like health shops just around the corner, and I can buy all these great organic foods and stuff like that. And here I can't buy that much because there's
Mm-hmm.
just not a lot around, or I have to order it online. But then I'm like, okay, but I have so much more here. Like I get sunshine every day. There's like no traffic. There is not even like 4G. Like I don't know if you believe in that's damaging or not. I don't know what to think about the whole thing, to be honest. But I still think it's good to not have so much technology and stuff around you all day long. I just feel that
Mm-hmm.
can only be a good thing. And yeah, I have a lot of nature. Life is very simple. Like it's a very, very slow life. And yeah, I feel like that is super beneficial. So even though I might have like all my favorite foods in Germany and all these great shops, but then I also have a lot of stress, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
traffic, a lot of lights, and I don't really know
Mm-hmm.
what's better, because it all has its positive and negative
That's
sides
totally
to it.
true. Yeah, it's about always about the balance. You need to find your space in life where you feel most comfortable. And
Yeah.
like I said, the goal also for me is one day to have my own land, to have this really simple, slow life where you have your own food, where you can really connect with nature and where you can live simple and more happy. I guess that also changes over time because young I wanted to live in the city. Now I'm
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I want to go into the nature. And yeah, super, super interesting your experience also. And with farming and all of that, I guess lots of the people that are in the city really don't have that experience. So it's a really,
Yeah, and I am super grateful for that, because I think if I had just stayed in Germany, I would have never all of these
Nice. And then
experiences.
you planning to go to Germany, then what you gonna do? You already have a plan?
Um, Not really. I have like maybe an overall big plan. Like I would, because Germany feels so small and crowded after Australia, like even if you live in the countryside, it's still very crowded. I feel there are no places where you can really be a bit more isolated, like here in Australia. So I would actually love to move to
Oh,
Scandinavia
nice.
one day. And yeah, live close to nature, maybe live in a small village and then have your own garden and all of these things. That's a bit of my dream.
That's a
And yeah, but for now I think I'm gonna stay in Germany and then yeah, just work towards moving up
nice.
north, I
When you have
guess.
that land, you let me know. I come and visit you. So thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your story and your insights. I guess it really helps also people to hear a little bit of a story sometimes because,
Yeah,
yeah, we mostly hear the common things of the people that, that the beliefs that all the people have. But I like that you have a little bit of a different insight and based on your experiences because that's the most important thing. And I guess everyone should make their own experiences and do what feels good, really. Do you. I really take that away from today. Like, thank you for that sentence. I really like it. Do you. And I'm going to do me. And then we're all going to be happy, I guess. I hope you really enjoyed this episode, despite the little technical problems sometimes. But I mean, imagine we are really far away from each other. And thanks to technology, we could share a little bit of time and also share it with you guys. What this talk really helped me to see is that each and every one of us has their own story, their own experiences, and their own view of this world, no? And we should not judge any other person. We should just take our experiences and make our own opinions and live our life listening to ourselves, to our bodies, to our mind, to our hearts, and try to live consciously of ourselves and our environment. I'm sure this is not going to be the last episode on conscious healthy eating because I really love this topic. So do you, and I will do me, and then the world will be a better place. Have a wonderful day and keep dancing with the universe.